So here is my VCF workload domain freshly deployed with my vCenter. And let's add a centralized network connectivity in it for future VPCs. I can start that workflow from NSX under VPC. Or from vCenter under VPC. Let's do it from vCenter. I select the option Centralized Connectivity, acknowledge all the prerequisites, and the first question is about the NSX Edge cluster. So it asks about its name, and let's call it Edge Cluster 1. Then it asks for the size of the edge nodes, and let's enter the size as medium. Now let's add our first edge node with a name, and let's select our vCenter cluster where the edge node will be installed, and the data store where the edge VM disk will be stored. Then let's configure the edge node management IP. Here I choose static, selecting its VDS port group and entering its IP plus default gateway. Finally, my edge step will use the same step as my ESX step, so let's keep that checkbox selected and configuring the edge node uplink mapping. Once the first edge node is configured, let's clone it to make our second edge node. So the only question asked here is its name and its IP configuration. Then I can choose to let VCF generate the edge node passwords or enter them manually. Here I choose to enter them manually. Once the edge nodes are configured, let's configure the tier 0. I choose my first tier 0 name, and if I want it, active or active standby. To get the most networking services, I choose here active standby. Then I opt for better flexibility, so I choose dynamic routing with BGP and specify my tier 0 BGP ASN. Now I start configuring my tier 0 external interfaces on my two edge nodes going to my physical router. Let's start with the edge node 1 with its first tier 0 interface IP and its pairing to my physical router BGP IP. Now its second interface IP and BGP pairing. I repeat the same for the edge node 2. Finally, I specify the external IP block I received from the network admin for future VPC's public subnets, and I enter the private transit gateway IP block for future VPC private transit subnets. Workloads VMs on public subnets have direct access to the external network with no NAT. Workloads VMs on private transit subnets require NAT to access the external networks, but no NAT is required to access other VPC subnets. Here we go, and now the workflow will deploy that connectivity network. Here we go, and now the workflow will deploy my centralized network connectivity. After a couple of minutes, my centralized network connectivity is ready, and I can start deploying VPC directly from vCenter. I'll go through that VPC creation workflow in another video. Thanks for your time, and talk to you soon.